Welcome back to that Heartbreak Hogs podcast. Sid, let's talk about how big of a game is this for Sam Pittman and company, and is this a must-win for him moving forward? Just how big of a win, how big of a game is this for him? What are we feeling after a win, and how disappointing would this be with a loss? And your perception of Sam Pittman leading the Razorbacks moving forward?
I mean, coming off the Tennessee win is joy, like overjoyed, right? Like joyous. But after the bye week, you've said it in the past, fans have short-term memories,
Yep.
and LSU's up next. We're always on the next one. And so if we do get embarrassed by LSU, I think Razorback fans will quickly forget about the Tennessee game in the past, and then the pitchforks will start coming back out. Now, if this is a close game, or again, if this is a game that's lost not based off of the coach, what I mean by that is fake punts, fake field goals. Even if you're a Pittman fan, you can agree to this. If you're not losing a game because of those reasons and calling the right timeouts at the correct times,
Yep.
then there's less to blame on them. Now, this game being off a bye week, that's another thing we have to account for, right? You, as a coach, head coach, you've had time for your players to prepare for this team against LSU, and you've had an extra week. So for you to not show up to this game would be bad.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that. It'll be bad for you if you don't show up after the bye week for this game.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of things that will add up to see if Pittman should or should not be the head coach of this team after this game. This particular game. We'll talk about the rest of the season and what I feel about what Arkansas deserves as a head coach.
Right.
But for this particular game, I think those things are the reasons why why this game matters particularly.
Right. Yeah, I feel the same way in a lot of ways. I think that, man, I'm not a Sam Pittman hater. I do not want him to lose. I just want to win. I want to see a winning product on the field, something that you can be proud of, and something that whenever I'm wearing my Razorback gear, people will stop me and say, wow, what a football team you guys have. That was fun watching. I loved watching that game when Arkansas was on TV. We got that with Tennessee. And that was a great feeling to finally have them back on the map. And this is a great opportunity to keep them on the map. If we beat back-to-back games, it wasn't back-to-back weeks, but it would be back-to-back games, top 10 wins would be huge.
Another night game too, right?
Exactly.
Sorry to cut you off, but yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's a night game, and it's competing with Texas and Georgia, and it's really going to be interesting to see which of those games gets more views. If the Georgia and Texas game kind of gets out of hand and this one is close, do most of the viewers flock to come watch the Hogs and Tigers? So it's going to be a big, big opportunity, and we cannot lose this game because of stupid things at the end of the game. And that would be the most disappointing part, is if we lose because we do something dumb at the end of the game, a fake field goal, poor clock management, poor timeouts, the clock runs off because of a penalty like Ohio State. Stupid stuff like that. If we lose this game because of that, that is whenever people, as Sid might say, would grab the pitchforks for Sam Pittman, because we've seen this play out before. We don't want to see that again. We want to see what we saw against Tennessee is a one-score victory. That's what we want to see. So to me, this game is huge. Now, if we do lose and it's just one of those games that you just watch and you just are like, they were just outmatched, that's different. That's more understandable than it's like, okay, let's go and try to outmatch somebody else in a different opportunity. It is what it is. But if we just get outcoached, outplayed, and shoot ourselves in the foot, that's whenever it's like, that's what Sam Pittman is kind of has a reputation of being,
Yeah.
shooting yourself in the foot when you should
Pittman,
win.
I don't want you to be out coached by Brian Kelly. Like
No,
there's no reason why you should be.
no. And I was talking to some LSU fans today, and they were scared. They were concerned about this game. They were on alert. They're the number 8 team in the nation, and they're on alert going to Arkansas. That should say a lot of what the possibilities are, the opportunities that are here in this game. And there will be a very different reaction from winning and losing this game from the fans and what they expect from Sam Pittman. I also want to put this out there is the schedule for next year. If we cannot win these types of games this year at home, I just pulled up the schedule for next year. This is what we have to deal with next year. I'll just go through the whole thing, but Alabama A&M starts out in Fayetteville. Arkansas State at home. It's at Little Rock. We go to Memphis. That's not super difficult, but it's not a guaranteed win. We host Notre Dame. That's interesting. We host Auburn, which we always play terrible at home against Auburn. We host Mississippi State. We host Missouri. We host A&M. We go to LSU. We go to Ole Miss. We go to Tennessee. And we go to Texas. So I'm just going to list off, the last 4 here. We go to LSU. We go to Ole Miss. We go to Tennessee. We go to Texas. Our home games, so that's 4 away games that kind of look impossible, honestly. We host A&M. We host Missouri. We host Auburn. We host Notre Dame. We go to Memphis. How many of those are guaranteed wins? So this year, if you win 7 or 8 games and you look at next year's schedule, that could drop down to 5 or 6. So it's just, there's a lot riding on what happens here and what happens after here, because if you lose to LSU, that could then kind of trickle down of you have more opportunities to lose. You have less belief from the fan base to show up to the games. You're going to have negativity around the campus. You're going to have a lot of things that could really change the direction of things really fast. So winning this game is key to me because it could put you in a lot of momentum, a lot of support, NIL donations. You can get a bunch of donations for this. We can saw down some more goalposts, make more sales for NIL, back-to-back top 10 wins. Heck yes. So to me, this would be huge if you can win this game. I'll let you get to it, Sid. I just went on a long rant there.
No, we've talked about this game as much as we could. I think with going on to the rest of the season as well, there's some must-win games. Can't overlook those. We've talked about this in the last videos with Pittman.
Yeah.
You have to win the must-win games. I'm talking about Louisiana Tech. I'm talking about Mississippi State, Missouri. Some of these games I need you to win.
Yep.
Just to have a shot. And now if we've LSU, Ole Miss, or Texas,
right.
It's an added bonus. But being 5-2, just going a little bit back, being 5-2 versus 4-3 is a huge momentum for the rest of the season. At this point, we're about like halfway.
Really good point.
And halfway, it'll show you where you are in the season, because 4-3, I don't like for the rest of the season.
You're just
I was like, well, this is the same old Razorbacks. I kind of like the rest of the season. I'm not really looking forward to as much.
Right.
I know we've got still got some good home games, but
yeah,
it's not. But for being 5-2, now we're almost right up there in the SEC.
Yep.
Like we'll be right up in the cusp of being the top of the SEC, and that's
Yep.
what gets the fans excited, right?
And you beat
Even just
two
thinking about
top
it.
10 teams, you think that you're not going to be ranked in the top 15? Like you're going to make a huge
Yeah,
jump.
exactly.
Two top teams in a row? Yeah.
Yeah, and beating an SEC team at that,
Right.
and being 5-2,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I mean
Especially
having
Tennessee. If they beat Alabama
yeah
after you just beat Tennessee too, that's going to be
Tennessee
huge.
too.
Yeah, Tennessee too. Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, for sure. I mean this whole season is gonna be depending for Coach Pittman. Just to bring it
Mhm.
back to him, I want him. Like I understand fans are actually there are a lot of fans that are behind him. We are all
Yeah.
rooting for him. We're not. No one's rooting against him.
Yeah. We're
At the
just
end of the day,
skeptical about some things and we want to see proof.
yeah. At the end of the day, I've said it. I want him to kind of decide his own fate after
Yes.
the season ends,
Yep.
and whether he wants to retire, and if he like wants to just end on
Right.
top and just kind of say I've done enough for this team, and
Mhm.
I think I want to live my rest of my life just like as a fan.
Yep.
We would be understand that completely. Versus if he wants to coach again and he wants to be coach this team again next year, we would also understand that.
Right.
But I want that to be on him and not being kind of forced on him, being like, "Hey, you're fired," or "Hey,
Yeah.
we're gonna push this on you. You should leave,
Yeah.
um, or retire or whatever." But like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I talked about this in previously. Also, was I want three things out of my coaches, right? The one was just
Energy.
the passion,
Yeah.
energy, and you care about the team. I want fans as an Arkansas fan just to see that from my head coach. Like this guy is fully invested,
Mhm.
um, and I think I've seen Pittman do that. I've seen
Yeah.
when he first got hired, he's been there, and he was exactly that. It's died out a little bit, but that's okay. I think he still has that passion. The second thing is I want my coach to not make stupid mistakes
Mhm.
and be able to make in-game adjustments and
Fake field goals.
um, fake field goals, fake punts. I mean, every now and then you can be regarded as a genius,
Yeah. But
but to do that,
don't be regarded as the dumb dumb.
don't get too cocky and
Yeah.
then start making decisions that make you lose the game for
Right.
those reasons
Yeah.
where you're trying. There's enough. Yeah, I don't want to dwell too much on trick plays, but like
Yeah.
as a head coach, just
We've just
in
seen
game,
some go really bad.
yeah,
Really
just
bad.
in game adjustments, being able to coach up the team, having the team believe in you.
Yeah.
Um, all these are important in a head coach. And then third thing is wins. I want this Razorback team to be a college football playoff team, and
Yes.
and as Razorback fans, we all want this. Like as a and our head coach, we should be he should show us that, hey, I'm going to lead this team to the playoffs
Right.
every year in, year out. Doesn't matter if it's away, if it's a hard schedule. The schedules is going to be hard for this in the SEC and
Yep.
especially for Razorbacks. We've known this. Whether it's away, whether it's home, it's going to be hard.
Yep.
But year in, year out, if you're able to show you can lead this team to a playoffs, that in turn, that's honestly could be the top one thing, because if you're able to show that, then that shows that you have you're making smart decisions on the field to win those games, right?
Yep.
And you have the passion for this team and for these players, to coach them up. So, yeah, again, we shall see what happens with him at the end of the season. But I think at the halfway point, he's still got a long way to go. I'm more hopeful for him after the Tennessee win, but
Yep.
um, halfway, a lot of season left.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna mention two things here about because I liked how you were talking about your expectations for the coach, And I'm going to compare Coach Cal a little bit here, the basketball team. And by the way, we're going to try to do more basketball content moving forward. So kind of expect some of that content to come out next week. We're very excited for basketball. But if you listen to Coach Cal's press conferences and you listen to him talk about mindset, talk about his getting his players into uncomfortable situations and being comfortable in uncomfortable situations, talking about getting the best of the best athletes on the floor, getting them to the pros, changing lives, bringing people and resources together to build a championship type of program. The amount of times that Cal talks about building a championship caliber program and how he talks about how it's not just one person, it's everybody. And I'm not hearing that from Pittman. I haven't heard him talk about going to the playoffs. I haven't heard him talking about winning the SEC. And I'm not saying that he's not thinking it. I'm just saying that the energy seems to be a little bit different. The expectations seem to be different. Like Sid said, what is our expectations here? And this is going to go into something else. I heard recently the coach of the Central Arkansas UCA Bears. He was at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, and he said since the UCA moved up to Division One, they have been the winningest football program in the state of Arkansas. And I saw a bunch of Arkansas fans comment down below, "Oh, we're in the SEC, boo-hoo. It's so hard to win in the SEC. If you were in the SEC, you wouldn't be winning either, da-da-da-da-da." No. We should not use the SEC as an excuse for losing. If we are in the SEC, that's because we believe we can win in the SEC. The expectation for this program should not be bottom tier, average, like mid tier, or just be anywhere in the SEC. No, it should be top tier SEC. That is what our goal should be as Razorback fans. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I believe from previous videos I've gone into this, I believe Arkansas has the resources to do great things with its football program. I do. And because of that, I think that we are really selling ourselves short when we are saying we are okay with 6 or 7 wins from this team this season. I think that we need to get to 8 wins, and I think that this is one of them that we have to get to. And so I just wanted to piggyback there off of what Sid was saying, that I believe the playoffs should be a point of conversation when we're talking about the football program, and that should be the overall goal, is to be a playoff contender, not just an average SEC dweller that we just every now and then we have a big win, every now and then we have a decent season. No, I think that we can do more than that, and I think that we have the passion, we have the resources and everything to make that happen. So Sid, was there anything that you wanted to add onto that? I kind of tried to piggyback off what you were saying, but
No, I think that pretty much covers it. I know there's one more thing I wanted to bring up, which you actually had brought up before, was, and you may have been going there, but
I think I know what you were going to say, and it's probably a yes.
the fan, right, or that commented under our previous post about Travis Williams, right?
Yes, yeah, that's where I was going to go next. Right.
Okay. Yeah. And so you can continue with that.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So we'll get to that then, and we'll close it with this. Is there was somebody who commented on one of our past video about the Sam Pittman, and we're going to be doing this week to week. So we just like to do reactions of, okay, so where's the state of the program now, and what does that mean for Sam Pittman or somebody new? But somebody had commented on our last video and said basically they're rooting for Sam Pittman. They want him to succeed, but it should be a must that we keep Travis Williams. And if Sam does choose to leave or is let go for whatever reason, whatever scenario plays out, he's not the coach next year, we should lock up Travis Williams as the head coach. Sid, what are your thoughts on giving T. Will the reins to the head coaching job giving him that opportunity. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, so I think Tebow is a great coach, and
Yep.
there's no diss on him. He like the players love him, and he is a player's coach, and he's proven that he's shown that, and he has a great defensive mindset.
Yep.
And to preface it, like there are great and even NFL, college football, great head coaches that have defensive mindsets.
Yep.
So it's certainly possible for him to be a head coach. However, I think it depends on who he has as his offensive coordinator,
Yep.
and that's going to be key in him actually succeeding.
Right.
Right? If it's Bobby P, I think he could do well as a head coach if Bobby Petrino stays
Right.
um, um, as our OC. I don't think it happens, but if it does, I think it succeeds. And if that doesn't happen, it's going to depend on who else comes
Yep.
in as our OC.
And keeping
If
those guys is so key. Bobby and
keeping our
T.
guys
Will. Oh,
exactly, and then two, if we bring someone unproven as our OC, that's a huge gamble on both
it
ends as a
is.
head
It's such
coach
a huge
and
gamble.
our OC to be unproven. We're going backwards, I think,
Yeah.
in that instance. That's why no diss on Travis Williams. I just think it's too big of a gamble to put him as a head coach
Yep.
without having an unproven or unknown offensive coordinator. I think he would be a great coach. I just think head coach. I just think for
It's a gamble.
SEC, and Razorbacks,
Yep.
it's too big of a
We
gamble.
saw the schedule for next year.
Exactly. Ross talked about that schedule, and I think that's not to say if he does leave,
Yeah.
if Travis T. Will does leave, we would wish nothing but the best for him. And I want to be selfish, and I want him to stay as our defensive coordinator because he's
Hmm.
great.
Yep.
He's proven, and you've said it before. He might not want to leave.
Yep.
He might want
Yeah,
to
we
stay.
don't
He
we don't
might.
know. We
This
don't
is just
know.
speculating based
He
off of
could
that.
go and take another smaller
Hmm.
job as a head
Yeah,
coach, or he could stay. We
this
just
is
don't know.
exactly, and to be a defensive coordinator for this big of a school is not a small thing. Also,
Right.
and so I hope he does stay. But if he were, I think he also would agree with the fact that if he were to get offered this job, I think he would only take it if he has someone that's proven as his offensive mindset, his kind of like a partner, his
Right.
duo partner, to so he can succeed.
Right.
Because he knows Razorback fans are passionate, and if
Hmm.
he does, they can easily turn on him if he doesn't do well.
Yep.
Especially
100%.
as a head coach, you have a lot more on your shoulders than you do as a defensive coordinator or OC.
Hmm.
So I think he knows this, and I think there's a lot of ifs, but that's all I have to say on T. Will. Nothing. No, again, no diss on him. I think he's a great coach, and I'm glad to have him.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that it would just be a huge gamble. Um, it could work out, or it could just completely blow up in our faces, and everything that he did as a defensive coordinator could kind of be, you know, forgotten about because of, a bad run at head coach. And it's just, I just don't know. And there's going to be a bunch of circumstances that are going to come up with, well, what about this scenario? What about that scenario? And what about we just don't know the scenarios. Like Sid was saying, if Bobby P is coming back with him, he already has that relationship. They have the relationship with one another. It may work out really well. But if he's going to have to go and find a whole new staff, we don't know, man. We just don't know. So let's just take this thing week by week, and if the L's start piling, this is going to be becoming more and more of a conversation. But for now, let's root for Pittman. Let's get these things going. Now, we don't know. Maybe he does have some health things, and maybe regardless of whatever happens this year, this might be his last year. I don't want to say that with any kind of certainty or anything like that. We don't know, but
Yep.
we are wishing him the best, whether this is his last year or is not, or it's not. We want to win, and we want a lot of victories, and we want to see another field storming. So, I guess we'll kind of end with that, and we're excited. I do have Arkansas winning this game. Sid is not quite as optimistic, but he will be there cheering hardcore, and he's definitely open to the possibility of of it happening. He's just more on the I want to see it. It's hard to get him on board with winning 2 top 10 matchups, back to
Yeah,
back.
back to back.
Yeah.
You
So
proved me wrong once,
mhm,
and I hope I get proven wrong again. I mean,
exactly.
I love to be proven wrong.
Yes, sir. Well, he usually is on this show. So no, I'm just kidding.
We'll see about the next video.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys definitely need to check out when we select games from the top 25. We do our own little challenge there where the loser has to eat some sort of spicy food. This next video, I'm going to be eating a Buffalo Wild Wings blazing hot wing. So the blazing sauce. So definitely check those out. I think we're going to head out on this video. That's going to be it for this one. So with that being said, please like the video, comment down below what your thoughts are on Sam Pittman, what he's accomplished so far, what he needs to continue, and also how big of a game this is. Is this game going to be one of the defining games for his, career? And let us know down below what you think. Razorback fans, please subscribe to this channel. Again, like the video, share it, comment. It really does mean a lot to us. We're Hog fans through and through. We love our Razorbacks. We love talking about this. And we've been here for a couple hours because, well, the first round of recordings, the audio was messed up. And we're up late at night finishing these up because we love our Hogs. So please, support us and comment down below. Join our community. With that being said, that Heartbreak Hogs podcast is out. See y'all later.
See y'all.